I have this light here. It doesn't have a switch for it. It actually just has a, or had a sensor light. Sorry, motion sensor for it. And there's actually no switch for the light. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a Sonoff to switch it on and off, and I can set up modes and stuff so that when I'm in the hot tub it doesn't come on, because you don't want it on at night when you're in the hot tub. Oh, in just case anybody was wondering, the wiring is definitely code. Actually, it's just for a solar collector, low voltage. Okay, let's get started. This is the motion sensor that I'm replacing. You can see that it's broken here. It's not working anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a Sonoff in there so at least I can turn it on and off as I want, because like I said, there's no switch for this. And the way this works is you have two powers that come in. This is the power coming in going to the sensor, and then two leads coming out that supply power to the light. You could have a light here as well. So if you had just a single light, you could just throw this Sonoff device in the back here and wire it so that you can still control it remotely in virtually the same way as what I'm doing. But what I'm going to do is to show you, like, to bend these wires and get them in here would be difficult, and you'd have a tight turn there. So I'll show you what you can do. Well, we're going to take this off, and we're going to use some more flexible wire, kind of like this. So actually we could probably cut these wires and use them even. So let me do that, and I'll do that on a bench. Hold on. Here we have the Sonoff device. I've taken the motion sensor off. We could cut these wires off and use those to attach to here, but I've actually got some extension cord that actually it's a cord from something, and it's the same gauge wire. It's where is it? 18 gauge wire. So it's 18 gauge wire. I've cut off a section, pulled out the wires, and I'm going to just tin them. I don't need the green one. So we're just going to tin them so that they slide into the Sonoff device without any strands of wire sticking out. So we're just going to put some solder on these wires. Just going to use my flex pen to get the solder to wick in better. So now that we have some solder on here, I'm just going to cut them a little bit shorter because there's not a lot of space to run the wires. And I'm just going to make a loop with the wire and solder it in there, and then I'll cut it in the middle once I get it out to the electrical box. So black is load. Oops. Might as well put it in the right side, right? Now we want to make sure those wires are in there. You want your black on your L, which is your load, and your white on your N, which is your neutral. And just give them a tug, make sure that they're in there secure. You can't get these screws too tight. But you'd probably end up twisting it off the board if you're cranking them too tight, but you want them snug enough. And then we're just going to cut these in the middle. So now we've got the two leads. I'll just put the covers on. So here's the covers. We'll just put these screws in. And these screws do two things. Well, you'd think that it would pinch the wire there, but it actually doesn't. But it covers up the exposed wires or the nuts there, but it also helps hold the case together. So you kind of want to put them in, otherwise the case can split apart. Once you have those screws in there, it holds the case together. Let me grab a better screwdriver. Well, if you look, it does kind of look like it's holding it, but not really. And that's with these screws cranked really tight. But like I said, it does cover up the exposed heads of those screws, so less of electrical hazard. So now we just have to hook this up. We have the input and the output. We just have to make sure we get those hooked up right. Here we are back at the electrical box. All we have to do is throw in the Sonoff device and hook up the wires. And so what we're going to do is, these are the two wires for the power in. So it's pretty straightforward, just black to black, white to white. And then these are the two leads that would go to, if you had a light here, it would go to, these two wires here would go to that light. But because the light is over on that side of my garage, actually I might put another light up here too, I don't know. But yeah, so we just hook these wires up to the other light, which are these two wires. So I'll put on the morettes and then show you how it looks after. So there it is with the Sonoff in and the four wires connected. Now I just have to, I'm just going to put this on, this cover on for now. This is the cover that was on here. This was from the sensor light. Sorry, sensor. Never had a light here. So I'm going to hook this up and then we'll test it. There you go. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. So all we got to do is figure out how to tie this to GPIO 14.